Hello everyone, it's Della DuLac. Today I want to show you a couple different ways to use your clear block as a stamp to create a watercolor background. So easy to do and they turn out different every time. I love this sailboat, I'm sure, as you can see from past videos. But it works really, I love how it coordinates with the blues so nicely. So like a stormy sea, very fun. And then there's this one. So I'm going to show you how I did these two to create these different backgrounds. So for this one, I'm going to use the D block for this one. And then we're going to use a little bit, we're going to use the ink pad and some markers. You can do a combination of these. You can do just one or the other. You can even just stamp this as a background as one color. But for this one, I'm going to ink this up first in the balmy blue. And then I'm going to take some Night of Navy. I'm just going to scribble on here with my marker. Do the brush tip, a little bit of Pacific Point. This is going to be my stormy water. And then you want to take, let's move these out of the way. You want to take your water little spritzer. I'm going to put this here just so I can keep my surface somewhat dry. And let's close this. There we go. Alright, so you want to spritz this with some water a couple times. That, bring this piece back in, and then we're going to flip this. I like how it runs too a little bit, and then just squish that on your cardstock. I've got a paper towel ready, and I'm going to pull that up. You can see how it pools just a little bit, and if you don't like that, you can blot that with your paper towel a little bit. I do want some of that down there. And then you would just set it aside, let it dry, or you can heat set it with your heat tool and dry it, and then you'll want to do your stamping. Very fun. And then for the way that I did this one here, oh, I need this block again. Okay, so now I didn't, for the last one I just did this one I'm going to just use my marker tips. And I'm going to do a little bit of the light blue up here in the sky. This is what we're creating now. And then we'll do a little bit of Old Olive. Oops. Bit of Old Olive, a little bit of Garden Green, and a little bit of the espresso down at the bottom. Okay, again, let's move that. Get the paper towel over here. Give this a couple spritz. That's probably enough. Move that. Get our paper back. Alright, now you can see how it's really pooling. We're going to quickly flip this over. I knew I was going to do that. That works. That's really pooled. I think maybe I got a little bit much water, but you get the idea. And then we can blot that a little bit. Kind of like that irregular edge there. Okay, so that's how I did that one. Now if you can see here, I have some flecks. You can see I've got a lot of flecks down in here. And I did that with the marker tip. And I'll just show you how I did that with here. So you can take your brush tip, marker, and your cap. And what you're going to do is you're just going to flick that. Just very carefully so you don't hurt the tip of your, damage the tip of your pen, but you're just going to flick that all over. You can do as much or as little as you want. It's kind of hard to see them happening right there in the video. You can, well, it shows up better on this one. So you can see some flecks. I just did that all over, and then what I did is I took the trees from Waterfront, and I stamped those in black right on top. And then what I did with this, I just did the black sailboat right on top of the blues after it had dried. I have a couple other samples here to show you. This one here, I'll show you how I actually did the different colors on here. So what I did is I took my stamp. This is from Celebrate Sunflowers. So I took my stamp, and then I have my clear block. So I would have taken some of the espresso, and I colored actually on this block. So I made a little sandwich right there, and then I'm just following my stamp. So I would color the center of that, and then I took the green. I think I did my yellow first, but you get the idea. So I just followed my stamp like this, and then I spritzed it and turned it over and stamped it, and then when I stamped on top, then my colors would line up with my stamp. I actually got a little bit too much brown on this one, but I think that it still looks great because you have that coloring outside the lines. It's just a suggested color. It's kind of hard to tell in the video. There we go. I did use some Wink of Stella in the center of my flower. I love this. I use it all the time. Just adds fun little shimmer. This is also a great little tip if you have a lot of little pieces of ribbon left over that you don't know what to do with. Just adding a little bit underneath as layers, then you use up all your ribbon. And then of course stamp some on the inside. And this one here, let's move that. This one here, I did the same thing. I just took the markers and I did the background, spritz it, let it dry, and then stamped on top of it. And then a few little dragonflies on the inside. I love these. This one, for both of these, I used the size E block. This is really great. Actually, this one I used the even larger one. But for this one here, this is a really good size when you want to cover a lot of your card front. You have a nice big surface to work from. And then all I did was same thing that I had done with this one here. I used my markers and just colored in the different colors that I wanted for my background, spritzed it, stamped it, let it dry, and then I did the layering with all of the stamps on top. If you stamp too soon before it's dry, when you stamp it, it's going to bleed just a little bit. So you want to make sure it's dry unless you really want that look. This one again, just did some different colors for the background, stamped it, and then I used some of the palm trees from Timeless Tropic. I picked out the birds in the sun from Mountain Air, just created these scenes. This is also from the Waterfront, which is sadly retiring. Really fun background techniques. Can sit down with some different colored markers and some blocks and create a whole bunch of backgrounds for you to use to have on hand. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day. Be sure to subscribe and click that bell button so you don't miss a new video. Bye-bye.